A very warm welcome to one and all present here for CloudFest 2.0 Road to Google Cloud Certifications with our esteemed speaker Magda Jerry. So, cloud technology is now becoming mainstream with enterprise spending on cloud-based offerings rather than spending on traditional IT offerings. The recent increase in cloud adoption has resulted in corresponding increment in the need for workers skilled in Google Cloud technologies. Firms are struggling to hire skilled professionals. To bridge this gap in the industry, GDSC came up with 30 days of Google Cloud program. And in this event, we will help you to modify your career to be that individual the cloud firms are looking for. Before I begin, I would like to give a quick shout out to all our collaborators who joined us for this today's event. So, our speaker for today needs no introduction, but to those who are new in this domain, Magda is responsible for all aspects of Google Cloud certifications and digital badges go to market, and her mission is to grow cloud skill sets. She joined Google in 2008 after graduating with two master degrees, Media and Communication at Warsaw School of Economics and International Management at Rotterdam School of Management. Currently based in San Francisco, she has been leading Google global learning and engagement programs for Google, and she is a frequent guest speaker at events dedicated to skill development, diversity, and women in tech. We welcome you, Magda. So, without any further delay, let's start with today's event. Over to you, Magda.
Thank you so much for this great introduction. I'm very happy to be here. Welcome, everyone. Welcome from San Francisco. Very delighted to be here with you and talk about the road to Google Cloud certification. So I'm very passionate about the topic and very grateful that you have interest in this subject as well. So I will cover some slides talking about our certifications, but also the need for certified talent in the market and some of the opportunities this creates. And then we'll have some time for questions. So as briefly mentioned, I do lead a global certification and digital badges team here at Google Cloud. And yeah, it's been a journey for me as well with Google and Google Cloud. I've been with the company for over 13 years. So in today's discussion, we are first going to really look holistically at some of the market trends and specifically look into the demand for cloud computing roles. Then I will briefly cover some of the learning resources as well as introduce our overall Google Cloud certifications portfolio. Then I'll share some readiness tips and tricks. So if you are really serious about the exam, I'll share some additional insights with you. And then finally, we will recap with some benefits and ROI of getting certified. So let's get started. And let's cover the demand for cloud computing roles. So as you are probably very well aware, the cloud adoption continues to grow all over the world, multiple use cases for move to the cloud. And as such, because of this demand for cloud computing, the companies, all kinds of industries really experience the high demand for cloud skills and skilled employees. Specifically, in the last few years, you may notice that the Google Cloud skills in particular are seeing the fastest growing demand. So very high demand for this particular type of skill set. And some of the data points behind it I wanted to share is when we look at the job postings that look for cloud skills, they grew over 40% between the first quarter of 2019 and the first quarter of 2021. Some additional data points, over 90% of IT leaders expect to expand cloud services in the next 1 to 3 years. However, they identify 80% of them identified a lack of internal skills and knowledge as a top barrier to cloud success. So this really speaks to this kind of skills shortage in the market, or still an opportunity that as the companies want to adopt cloud technologies, they really look for skills and knowledgeable employees to be able to make the most out of this opportunity that cloud and Google Cloud brings. So I think another interesting point is that the cloud technology requires a new approach to learning. And with Google Cloud Learning Services, we build learning programs that are truly transformative. And I think some of the examples here are maybe in the past, the learning would very much focus on a particular piece of technology, particular product, feature. And I think the pivot here and the shift is towards enabling individuals in their proficiency in a given job role. So we will talk about this a little bit more. And I think another transformative way of approaching learning these days is also acknowledging the styles of learning, right? So you have traditional classroom style of learning, but you have a lot of on-demand learning. You can take any time, any place with a lot of great access. You have hands-on learning and so on. So we will focus on this a little bit more in this presentation as well. So I did want to cover our learning resources and Google Cloud certifications. So I did mention with Google Cloud Learning, we offer a variety of learning modalities, starting with instructor-led or these days very popular virtual instructor-led courses. Then we have the whole area of courses available on demand. You can learn anytime, anywhere. And then finally, really critical to really be fluent in cloud skill set is the hands-on labs. And you may be familiar already with quests and skill badges and all the good things. And then finally, the Google Cloud Certified is really a program that helps validate the skill set. So as much as the learning and training helps with acquiring and learning and gaining new skill set, the certification, the key goal here is to verify that an individual has a really proficient level of skill set. So that's really, I would say, the core purpose of the certification framework. These are proficiency and role-based exams that provide a benchmark for success. So for employers, for example, it's an excellent framework to really understand what kind of roles are needed in the company to successfully manage cloud. And then with a certification, really offers a benchmark for success in a given job role. So let's take a look at the portfolio of Google Cloud certifications, and there are some new additions. So I will cover this in more detail. So you will notice we have 3 levels of certifications. Our foundational level, where no cloud experience is needed, you complete the training. It's very much directed towards the business audience. So with the new Cloud Digital Leader, that's really the key purpose of this exam, to assure general cloud literacy within the business. Then we have the Associate Cloud Engineer exam. That's that's definitely towards the technical audience, recommended 6 months or so of hands-on experience with Google Cloud. So you really need to have this hands-on experience to be successful with this exam. And then our professional level exams are really for people who've been in the industry for a while, who have experience working on projects, the actual ability to solve business use cases with the use of cloud technologies. And you will notice these are job role-based exams ranging from cloud architect, data engineer, security engineer, cloud developer, and so on. So a whole variety of roles that are covered. So that's really our general landscape and the overall portfolio of the exams that are available by Google Cloud. And I wanted to briefly touch on the key difference. If you wonder, so how do I really approach the associate versus professional? What's really the core difference here? And I think the key aspect I would like to highlight is that for our associate level certifications, the core focus of the exam is on the technical requirements of a project. So these would be individuals, team members who build, deploy, manage cloud environments, and then this translates into a delivered customer implementation. For the professional level exams, in addition to the technical requirements, you also add the business requirements part. So people who plan, lead, optimize, and then this constitutes the overall delivered implementation. And just briefly, the foundational level exam, the Cloud Digital Leader I mentioned, the one for the business audience, that's literally the exam that focuses on a body of knowledge. So cloud knowledge, general Google Cloud knowledge, as well as Google Cloud products and services. A little bit more about the exams, and over here I'll be mostly focusing on our technical exams. They are 2 hours long. They are multiple choice and multiple select, no formal prerequisites. However, as I mentioned, the experience is actually your best prerequisite, I would say, just really making sure you have the hands-on experience with Google Cloud. And then you can take the exam either online proctored from a remote location or on-site proctored in a dedicated testing center. And I think in all cases, I strongly recommend to really review the FAQs that are available on the certification website. And particularly if you are preparing for any of these exams, do book your exam early to make sure there is availability, and just instead of waiting for the last minute, because then the availability might be slightly limited. Another resource, apart from training, hands-on labs, I wanted to highlight, there are also study guides available either as a book, printed version, or electronic copies that are also available to support your readiness activities. So right now I wanted to go a little bit deeper into the exam readiness tips and tricks. So let's get started here. So I'll take the example of the Cloud Engineer, the Associate Cloud Engineer exam, and you will find similar journeys, similar resources for all of the other exams as well. So we're just taking this one as an example. So you'll notice we have recommended courses that can be taken either on demand or virtual or in-person classroom training. Then we have the practice part that's all about hands-on labs and skill badges you can acquire throughout your journey. Then we have some additional preparation resources, starting with the exam study guide, sample questions, and so on. So I really wanted to highlight the importance of the study guide, because this is the resource that's available on the external exam website. It really lists every single domain that the exam covers. So I typically actually recommend this is your first resource to start with as you start preparing for the exam, and self-assess, like really have a good understanding what's covered by the exam, and you can then maybe go deeper into the areas where you still feel you need more practice or knowledge. And with the sample questions, they are also available on the exam website. You can take them as many times as you need, and it will give you a bit of a taste of what the exam really looks like. So I know that as part of your 30 days of Google Cloud Challenge, many of you are probably very familiar already with Google Cloud skill badges, but just in case, I will briefly mention what the purpose and the design of skill badges is. So think about skill badges as really the exclusive digital skill badge that helps you demonstrate your growing Google Cloud recognized competencies. Just really helps you prove your capabilities on a skill level. How to earn a skill badge? It's really achieved by completing a series of hands-on labs together with a final assessment challenge lab via which you can validate your skill set. And for those of you who have already achieved some of the skill badges, big congratulations. You will also be familiar that the challenge lab is really the one that really gives you this kind of test-like experience. There are no tips, no additional resources. It's literally you completing the task in the actual cloud environment. So you can learn more on our badges website. There's a variety of them. Many of them directly align with your certification journey preparation. Some of them are not aligning with any particular exam. They are maybe more related to new areas of the technology, but definitely something to explore, and a chance, an opportunity to really play with the technology, learn, and then validate your skill set. So briefly, a little bit more about the Associate Cloud Engineer exam, and you will find very similar descriptions for all of our exams on the respective exam website. So I'm just taking this as I feel for you this may be the most appropriate exam if you have a technical background. So the Associate Cloud Engineers deploy applications, monitors operations, and manages enterprise solutions. They use Google Cloud Console and the command line interface to perform common platform-based tasks to maintain one or more deployed solutions that leverage Google managed or self-managed services on Google Cloud. And then on the website, you'll also find even more information about the core domains that this exam covers. So for the Associate Cloud Engineer, the exam assesses your ability to set up a cloud solution environment, plan and configure a cloud solution, deploy and implement a cloud solution, ensure successful operation of a cloud solution, and then configure access and security. I did want to mention, when we talk about readiness, one program that's specific to the student audience as part of our career readiness efforts, the Associate Cloud Engineer track. It's really designed to help student learners who want to build their expertise in cloud infrastructure and prepare for careers in a hybrid cloud world. 80 hours of learning, lots of exciting topics you would be familiar with. There's on-demand training available, self-paced labs, as well as some certification voucher-related offers. And in order to apply for this program, you need to encourage your faculty to submit an application. So again, I wanted to highlight this one because this is specifically a program that we offer to students. And I hope your faculty is actually familiar with this program and taking advantage of this opportunity. Additional resources, if you want to go even deeper into certification tips from some of our certified individuals for the Associate Cloud Engineer, we do have a webinar available on demand via the Cloud on Air platform, so highly encourage you to watch it. You can really get some first-hand experience from our certified experts. So this should be really helpful and encouraging for you to set a goal of achieving this certification. And then we also have an even more robust resource that really goes into the exam guide. So a specific session preparing for the Associate Cloud Engineer certification exam available on YouTube. So another great resource for you to explore. And in terms of the readiness tips and tricks, some of the ones I wanted to share with you really come from multiple conversations, interviews, discussions, and feedback points I've been receiving from our certified community. So I just put together like a brief list of some of the core themes I'm hearing, so I wanted to share it with you now. So as I briefly mentioned, review the exam guide and assess your knowledge. Like, I would really encourage you, this would be your starting point in your certification readiness journey. Take a look at the exam guide, really study exactly what the topics covered are, and then just have an honest self-assessment. What are some of the areas you need to study more, practice more? So you know your study guide, you know what's covered in the exam, and then build your study plan accordingly, right? Like, how many hours per week do you want to spend studying? What kind of resources you want to use? Lots of resources available. And I also wanted to acknowledge we all have different learning styles. Some of you may really enjoy reading documentation. That's super helpful. Some will go straight into the hands-on labs and practice this way. So just being clear on your plan is really important, and many of our certified individuals also highlight the importance of setting a timeline. They sometimes let's say they want to achieve a certification in the next 3 months, so they book their exam and then take it from there and plan accordingly. I think studying in a group can be really fun and supportive. So I always encourage this: join a study group or form a study group or select a study buddy, somebody you can really share your experience together and for accountability and knowledge sharing. I think that's an important support system. Again, booking your exam early. Last minute cannot always work. We cannot guarantee availability. So I think really your best approach would be to set your date in advance and secure your spot. And I think, I know we are talking ultimately about achieving a certification, but I did want to pause and share with you the importance of the learning mindset. If you only study to be successful with a particular test, this may be actually a little bit of a limiting mindset, right? I think it's helpful if your mission or your vision for this experience is to really understand these topics, to really learn something, and to be ready for whichever task then comes related to this body of knowledge, because you just know it all. So I think this kind of mindset also helps you ultimately be successful in your career above and beyond the actual certification exam. So I think this learning mindset is always helpful. And I think even when you achieve the certification, the cloud technology space keeps evolving. And I think it's really an important mindset to have, always doing your best to be on top of what's latest in the technology area that you want to specialize in. And I think there are so many wonderful resources available in this area. So I definitely encourage you to be the lifelong learners and, of course, pass your exams as well. So our last section here is around benefits and ROI. So briefly covering this, I'm always really happy to review this kind of data, because that's when we ask the members of our certified community about their impression of the program. What is the program impact that they experience in their lives? So we have surveyed the community members of the certified Google Cloud certified community. So 78% of them feel more confident in their professional future. 82% can prove cloud skill competency to recruiters. 83% feel that their resume is more attractive. And then finally, really super important data point, where 85% of these certified individuals say that they feel more confident in cloud skills. And as we started the conversation today, noticing this huge demand for the cloud skills in the market, I think this confidence is really, really important and just really wonderful impact of the program. There are also benefits according to IT decision makers. So, right, if we take the perspective of the employers, what it is that they perceive. So this is the data out of the 2019 IT Skills and Salary Report by Global Knowledge. And I think the interesting piece of information here is that for IT decision makers who authorized training in the past 12 months, so people who spent training budgets in their organizations, 67% did so to prepare their team members for certification or recertification. Then when it comes to the certification value, 93% agree that certified employees provide added value above and beyond the cost of certification. And then 63% say that the economic benefit of certified employees exceeds $10,000 a year. Some additional benefits I would like to review. What happens when you achieve the certification. You can distinguish yourself with a Google Cloud Certified badge and certificate. You can share in your email signature, in your professional networks, add to your resume. For our professional exams, there is swag available. You can network and exchange ideas in the Google Cloud certified community, so really network with other certified individuals around the world. And then we also have special recognition at select events. And the piece of information I also wanted to leave you with today is some of the success stories. I'm really very touched and always happy to hear these stories from various parts of the world. So when you follow the hashtag Google Cloud Ready on LinkedIn and Twitter, I think you can really tap into student-specific stories, which is, I think, really exciting. There are YouTube videos available from this career readiness journey, as well as blogs by our associate cloud engineer students in their career readiness program experience. So all these resources are available. You can find them and I think read for inspiration, or maybe one day you'll be able to share your story, and we'll be definitely happy to hear it. So always wonderful to hear back about your journeys. So this is it when it comes to the presentation content, and I'm happy to take some questions now.
So thank you, Magda, for this great session. There were so many things that I also didn't knew about, and I'm sure all the attendees are excited to dive in the world of cloud, Google Cloud certifications. So I think now let's start with the much awaited part of today's event, that is Q&A session. So I think we can take some questions from live, and there were some questions from our registration form. So whichever come first, we can take them. So I think I should start. The first thing, what certificate should I try, as I have zero works experience in the industry and I have been using GCP for around 2 months.
So I think, as you've seen in the presentation, it is both understanding what do you specialize in, what is your role you aspire for. When I hear early experience, 2 months or so, very likely the associate cloud engineer will be a great starting point for you. Also, assuming that you are in a technical role. So definitely give yourself time to practice more, gain this skill set, complete all the skill badges that are on the pathway, complete the trainings, and build towards this readiness, towards the associate cloud engineer. Again, if you are in a technical role. If you're in a business role, not even role, business track, then the new Cloud Digital Leader exam will be a great start for anyone who is not in a technical domain.
Yeah, I think that would be great for non-tech peoples to get started. So like Google Cloud thinks about also non-tech peoples, so they can get started with Cloud Digital Leader certification.
Yes.
Okay. Is there any question in the chat section? Let's see. Uh, yeah, there is a question from Pranav. Which certification is good for associate product manager? I am specially talking about cloud product manager. I am an Indian student. Can I apply for EPM intern position at Zurich?
All right, product manager, this definitely sounds to me more, this may be actually a great role that would very much benefit from the Cloud Digital Leader certification. Unless you have a very strong technical inclination in this domain, then definitely you can go for our technical exams as well. And then, I think we can park any applying for a job at Google Topics, because for this, I definitely recommend you check out our jobs website directly, and any role has very detailed criteria there, how to apply and the requirements. I can definitely help with all the certification related questions. So as I said, I think the product manager is actually a person that's in between the technology and business. So I think starting with the Cloud Digital Leader here may be a very good start to really understand the landscape of cloud and be able to really use the language of Google Cloud with technical teams. And then again, if you feel and notice that you also have the technical inclination, then definitely set a goal of one of the technical exams as well.
Okay, so there is question like Aditya Shukla absolutely knew what is tip for me and other. Ma'am, there were students who weren't able to register for 30 days of Google Cloud, and so they weren't able to get the hands-on experience. So, what's the tip for them?
So, I think as we speak, we have just opened a brand new platform. It's called Google Cloud Skills Boost. And the great news is that right now, all the learning there is available free of charge. So I would definitely encourage you to look up Google Cloud Skills Boost, and you can access the portfolio of trainings and on-demand, hands-on learning, skill badges. Everything for the next few weeks is free of charge. So if you're new, maybe you missed the current 30 days of Google Cloud Challenge, there are still opportunities you can leverage as we speak. They are available. So absolutely, I would direct you to Google Cloud Skills Boost.
Yeah, that would be great. So, the next question was, can you tell us about career at Google Cloud, or about what are the different roles in cloud industry, or how exactly a certified individual plans to in their business to achieve their, yeah.
So I think, a little bit going back to, I can even show it, go back to the slide where we talked about the whole portfolio of the exams, because I think, as we mentioned, these are the top roles over here that we see as critical on a Google Cloud team. So we're talking now about technical roles, right? So there are DevOps engineers, collaboration engineers, cloud architects, data engineers, machine learning engineers, security engineers, network engineers, cloud developers, associate cloud engineers. Then again, cloud digital leader, as I said, is it's job role agnostic. So I think this may be very much your roadmap to aspire to and specialize in a given job role. Do study the certification website where you can read a description for every single of these roles. So that's really the standard, I would say, on the Google Cloud site for technical roles. I hope that will give you a great starting point to see what is the standard in the industry, what kind of roles are in demand. That's one of the purposes of the Google Cloud framework, certification framework, to really give you as a student this map, as well as the employer, right? Like when employers plan what kind of roles do they need in the team, that's really the roadmap for them as well of which roles to hire for.
Yeah, and then the next question was why should we give GCP a greater edge as compared to other cloud providers?
Mhm. So you can find really great articles when you Google why GCP, why Google Cloud Platform, or even comparisons. And there are so many fantastic technologies in the market. Google Cloud has definitely very strong reputation, great use cases, wonderful set of customers. And I think something to acknowledge is also that we do live in a multi-cloud world, right? Big organizations will very likely select different cloud providers for different kind of roles, different kind of workloads or use cases. So I think that's something that unquestionably is happening in the industry, in the market. You'll notice multi-cloud as
Yeah.
this very strong trend. And as I said, if you specifically want core topics, core talking points, why Google Cloud versus other cloud providers, very good documentation available on this as well. So I encourage you to look it up and read.
Yeah, I think everyone can just look out at documentation of Google Cloud. You can find all the use cases and the edges over other cloud providers too. So the next question was how much time it takes to complete all the exams of the certifications of Google Cloud.
So the exam itself is 2 hours long. However, the preparation will really vary, right? Depends on your baseline knowledge, how much time, there will be time you will spend just completing the trainings, and then time you will complete taking all the labs and skill badges. And maybe still this will not be enough, you will need to do additional documentation. So again, this is somewhat personal, depends how much background experience you already have. I think in one of the slides we mentioned, it's like roughly 40 hours of studying just to go through like the core curriculum. But the readiness will definitely vary. So I would say plan it over a course of weeks, if not months, because again, it takes time to like really be fluent in the hands-on experience, so that when you approach the exam, you are very confident because you just know the platform in and out, and all the use cases. So that would be my guidance.
Yeah, okay. The next question was where can we find resources for getting Google Cloud certified? So I think the question was asked by from some person from other college. So I think you can find YouTube channels of Google Cloud and Google Cloud Tech, and there are others channels also like Awesome GCP. You can check that out for certifications.
Yeah, and definitely the Google Cloud certification website, definitely lots of resources there as well for each exam, and general FAQ. And even the trainings are listed there. So definitely a good resource for you to start with as well.
Yeah, there is a question in the chat from Gaurang. I wish to pursue career in AI and ML. Can this program help in me doing that?
Yes, so for AI and ML on the technical side, we do have the data engineer exam as well as the machine learning engineer exam. These are professional level exams, so that's really something to aspire to over the course of maybe the next few years as you really start understanding some of the core business cases that the AI and ML solve, maybe complete all the relevant trainings that are related, complete all the labs and skill badges on your path. So definitely there are exams that will help you validate that you have the skill set and expertise in the AI and ML space. That's definitely very, very exciting.
Okay. So I think there are no more questions. So if anyone have, you can post in chat. Till then, I think you can scan this QR code to let us know your feedback. So and eventually it will help you in receiving your certificates. So I will be pasting the link in the chat. Yeah, I just did that. So till then, is this program same as 30 days of cloud? Actually, Samruddhi, we are talking about Google Cloud certifications. In the 30 days of cloud, you just there was some labs to complete that. So that would give you hands-on experience on Google Cloud platform, and eventually with that, you can start your career in like for associate cloud engineer or cloud digital leader. Yeah, you can scan the QR code and the link will be active from this time to 1 hour till 1 hour. So I think I would like to thank Magda for taking time from her busy schedule to help our audience learn more about Google Cloud certifications. I would like to thank our collaborators, GDSC Government College of Engineering Nagpur, GDSC Ramdev Baba College of Engineering and Management Nagpur, GDSC Cummings College of Engineering for Women's Nagpur, GDSC Bajaj Institute of Technology Wardha, GDSC Sanjeevani College of Engineering Kopregaon, GDSC St. Vincent Pallotti College of Engineering and Technology Nagpur, GDSC Institute of Technical Education and Research Bhubaneswar, and GDSC AISSMS Institute of Information Technology Pune, and our faculty advisor Bhushan Vidale sir for his support. I would like also thank our audience for being here. And last but not the least, a big cheers to GDSC GHRC team for making this event possible and successful. So we help our peers learn latest technologies. All you just need to connect with us on any of these platforms. You can find link in the description. And I hope you enjoyed this wonderful session. Till then, Goodbye, everyone, and have a great day ahead.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Yeah, see you.